What's going on, everybody? King of Dragons 5000 here, coming at you with another figure review. Today we'll be having a look at the McFarlane Toys DC Multiverse Futures and Batman series Blight from Batman Beyond. And so here we have Blight posed and out of the packaging. Before we take a look at the figure, let's actually run through his accessories really fast. Blight does come with two different left hands. We do get a style pose left hand. And then we do get a left hand where energy is surging through his hand, which looks really nice. He also does come with the wings for the Future and Batman, which we'll have a better look at when he's all put together, as well as your typical McFarlane display stand. Other than that, Blight doesn't come with any other accessories, so let's actually move on to his details. And so here we have a closer look at the DC Multiverse Blight, and first impressions, not the Blight I'm pretty sure everybody wanted. I'm pretty sure everybody wanted the Blight in his business suit where the sleeves were burned off and he had the flaming skull. This is still a very nice interpretation of the character. Now, if you aren't familiar with this version of Blight, this is the version that is seen in the comics where he is wearing this battle armor, which I think it's a pretty nice look. It does give them a chance to show off the nice sculpting that McFarlane is known for, which I'm really excited about how he looks. This is a very impressive looking figure, to be quite honest. His head, as you can see, is encased in this dome, and the dome does come out if you really wanted to. You can actually just pull it off, and there's really not a ball joint or anything that attaches it other than friction, so you do have to keep that in mind. It's not a loose fit, and it's not going to fall out just by messing with it, but it is something to note that there's no actual joint holding it together. There is a skull inside this fish dome that you see right here, and it is very nicely done from what I can see. It almost looks like that can be used for a Black Mask head. If they were to retool that, it would look really nice as Black Mask. But yeah, I'm getting a little bit ahead of myself. The only problem I have with it is that it's only like half a skull, or maybe even 3/4 of a skull. You can see there's an obvious cut in his skull right there, which that's not really a good look. I would have liked it if it continued all the way around. At least give him the top part of his dome so that it does hide itself behind his collar here, but still an overall nice looking figure. Moving on to his armor, as you can see, there's a lot going on here. We do have a lot of detailing throughout it. We have these little orbs right here, which I do like the fact that these are translucent plastic, but it kind of gets lost because it's just translucent plastic glued over the regular plastic. They should have really painted like chrome underneath that just to give it some more pop. If there was some chrome painted underneath that, these would sparkle and reflect, and I'm pretty sure that would be the effect that McFarlane was going for. And it is a little bit jarring, seeing as how we do have these translucent orbs right here on his chest, and we have painted ones right here on his elbows. See, everything on his torso, it's translucent green plastic, which I do like. I just wish that it had some kind of reflective paint. Like this one, you can kind of see it has like a metallic base to it, where if you catch it in the right light, you just look at that. That is how all these should be looking. That's a really big missed opportunity, and it didn't even have to look clean. Like that looks so nice, just jarbled and scrambled as it is. That is such a nice detail and a missed opportunity. They should have even done it right here on his dome. Missed opportunities everywhere on this figure, but I do like the costume. It's done in this really nice two-tone purple. We have this really dark shade of purple, almost black. Then we do have some green pipelines going through it, which look very nice. It would have been nice if these were like a more lime green, where they were a little bit brighter, but it is pretty bright standing out against the costume itself. That looks very good. I do like the detailing in it. It does appear like he's wearing two different suits. We have the undersuit, which has that really nice texture that we've seen on a lot of like modern day movies, and then we do have his armor, which also looks really good in this deep purple. Again, we do have those green orbs on each of his shoulders and his forearm. We do have one right here on his thighs and on the back. Again, that's probably my favorite. That's how they should have done all of them. That would have been really nice. Just imagine how nice it would look catching the light on all these orbs. I wonder if it's possible to pop these out and do it myself. I wonder if I'll think about that in another time. We'll just move on to the rest of the detail. Really interesting design for his armor. It's not as all over as you would expect armor to be, but it is a futuristic armor, so I'm pretty sure that the purple undersuit does provide a lot of coverage. Really nice detailing here, even on his feet. You can see they did a good job just detailing his armor. Really nice figure. Absolutely love this figure. Again, it's not my preferred look for the character, but what we have here is an exceptionally well sculpted figure, and it just looks really nice. So with that out of the way, guys, let's actually get Blight compared to other figures you may have in your collection. Here we have Blight posed next to a Marvel Legends Cyclops and a DC Multiverse Superman. Here we have Blight posed next to a WWE Elite Scale figure and a Mezco 1/12 Collective Popeye the Sailor Man. And finally, here we do have Blight posed next to a Lightning Collection White Ranger and a Star Wars Black Series Mandalorian. So with the comparisons out of the way, let's actually move on to Blight's articulation. Now, despite not having an actual neck peg, he can rotate his head left and right, although it's a little bit of a tight fit. You can actually just pop it up and angle it the way you want it, then settle it in so you get the desired effect, which I think that's the preferred way to do it. But it does have a swivel here at the base of the neck. Unfortunately, no up or down movement. I'm pretty sure that's just moving inside the joint there, so it's really not up or down movement, unfortunately. He does have ball joints here at the shoulders. It's a little bit stiff on this side, as you can see. If I move his arm back, it works no problem. Moving it forward. But if I try shifting it back in a neutral state, it kind of wants to fight me, so I do have to hit that with some lubrication. It does go all the way around. Although when you get to that point, you can see because of his armor, it does shoot the arm off to the side, so do be aware of that. Arm does go out to the side, no problem. Maybe that's why they didn't make the shoulders out of green translucent, because that looks like it would scratch if you were to move it like that. Huh. Okay, but anyway, he does have a bicep swivel where his shoulder pad is attached to his bicep, so I do like that. We do have a double bend here at the elbow. Kind of stiff on that second bend, but you can see we get a lot of nice range, so I do appreciate that. We do have a ball hinge here at the wrist, which goes forward and back, as well as rotates to give us up and down movement, so I do like that. And of course it rotates on that pin. He does have a ball joint here in the torso, which does let him lean back about that far. Doesn't crunch forward as well as you would think, but this is a little bit of a softer piece, so he does get some crunch forward. Some really nice tilt though, as well as rotation. Then we do have another ball joint down here, which gives him a little bit more range. Let's see. Yeah, he can crunch forward a little bit, so I'll give it that. Better side-to-side tilt, so I do like that. And I just love the way this hides itself. Like, at first looks, if you didn't know that this was a softer piece, you would think that his entire waist piece was one solid sculpt. That is impressive sculpt work, if I do say so myself. Legs do kick forward beautifully. They go forward all the way. They go back to about right there. Out to the side, no problem. Blight can deliver those ballerina kicks that he's so known for. We do have a thigh swivel up high. We have double bend at the knee, which is really stiff on mine. Ow! I just pinched my finger in that. But yeah, you can get both joints to work, but I am noticing that the way his legs are made, this pipeline and this piece of his armor don't really play nice together, so do keep that in mind when moving them. I guess if you move the top joint first, they kind of play well, but if you move the bottom joint first, these do bump up against each other. He does have rotation at the ankle. He does have a hinge which goes back and forward. Forward-facing pin for rocker ankle, and then of course we can give him a true rocker ankle. And then finally, a toe joint that isn't as generous that we've seen, but it's still a very nice toe joint. So with that out of the way, guys, let's actually get Blight posed for my final thoughts, and then we'll wrap up this review. And so here we have the DC Multiverse Futures End Batman Blight posed for my final thoughts, and overall this is a very nice figure. Even though it's not the Blight figure we wanted in the suit, this is still a very impressive figure by McFarlane. Now, he does have some issues that I gotta point out. The fact that his head is only about 3/4 of what it should be. I think they should have actually put a articulated skull in there just to give it a little more depth, because once you see it from the side, it is quite noticeable that he's missing about 1/4 of his skull, and those little translucent orbs on his torso really would have done well if there was some reflective paint on the inside of him. As you saw on his lower back, how that one catches the light beautifully. That's what this figure needed, because as nice as he looks, he needs a little bit more. I absolutely love the effect piece on his left hand. I wish that we got one with his right hand as well. Now, I do know that we are getting a standard version of Blight called the Meltdown version, where the head is different and he gets effect parts for his hands. This would have been really nice if we got that translucent effect part for his right hand. That way he can have 2 different versions. But overall, I really do like this version of Blight. Now, if you are looking for Blight, like I said, there are 2 versions. We have this version, which is the Futures and Batman, which will run you about $24 with tax. Then we do have the single card, which is $19.99, which doesn't look like this. It's still the same armor, but he has a new head and hand effect pieces. So which one is the one to get? It's really up to you. Or if you're like me, you're going to end up getting both of them, because this is a really nice solid figure. Plus, you kind of need Blight to complete the Futures and Batman. Even though he is technically a full figure with the other 3, this one just completes it by giving him the wings, so do keep that in mind. I still recommend Blight for any Batman Beyond fan. He's going to look good fighting Batman Beyond and Batwoman, so be on the lookout for that. So if you want to pick Blight up, definitely do it. He's going to look great in your Batman Beyond collection. With that being said, guys, I'm KingofDragons 5000. Don't forget to like this video, leave a comment, subscribe to my channel. Go ahead and check out all my other action figure reviews, as well as all my other DC Multiverse videos and my Batman Beyond videos. Hopefully you find those informative. As always, if there's a figure you would like to see me review, let me know down in the comments, and if it fits in my collection, I'll gladly have a look at it. While you're at it, check out my Instagram account for new and exciting action figure photos, and as always, ring that bell to be notified every time I upload a video. Until next time, guys, I'll see you later. Take care, everyone.